You can feel it. A little chill in the morning air, briskness against your skin in the morning. The lawn isn't growing as fast as it used to. It crunches a little more under your feet. Leaves on the trees are starting to turn different shades of color, away from the bright greens. School's starting. Hear the school bus engines roar in the distance. Everything, it seems, is slowing down a little, except one thing. It's a staple of this time of year, always has been. Sounds of grunts and growls, a lot of pushing and shoving, and absolutely no holding. Hard workers preparing for a job. A lot to do, a lot to show, a lot to prove. Hard lines, hash marks, X's and O's, a lot of film, and just plain old hard work. And they can use these lessons throughout life. It's the season we've all been expecting. Hello everybody, I'm David Sullivan. Welcome to high school football at Riptide on the River. We'd like to welcome a new sponsor to the show, the Men's Mission Breakfast Club. Find out more here. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Bert Browne Show here. We talk about Madison Central High School football at Riptide on the River. A great place to come for fun, entertainment, and great food. Coach, you've come off, as we tape this show, a really frustrating loss, a one-point loss at or with Henry Clay. Summarize for me, that's a one-point loss. It was a dramatic game for you, a big comeback. You've lost two real close games during the season, and I know it comes down to the special teams and the kicking game.
Well, you know, it is frustrating. We're a couple extra points away from being 4-2, you know, and we talked to the kids about that. We got a new kicker out, Ben Durham, who's really come a long way since he was kicking out there on the field on his own, and it's really going to be a good kicker for us. And then Josh Jones, who's a soccer player, was at a soccer match Thursday night, and he's the last week, 2 weeks, a week prior, he's our kickoff guy, and he can kick it to the 5, inside the 10 a lot. So it is frustrating, but those guys they're learning and going to get better. Ben's going to get better and do. You know, we had a high snap one time, a low snap another. You know, our regular long snapper, Tony DeBoard, is our starting left tackle. He didn't play because of a high ankle sprain, so he was out. So when you throw all that together, that doesn't make for very conducive for good extra points, field goals, things like that. But those guys are getting better, and you know, our kids gave an unbelievable effort, and I was extremely proud of them. We are a player or two away from having a pretty daggone good season.
Yes, you are. Talk about the game at the beginning of it and how everything started to unfold in the early stages.
Well, you know, we take the football and go right down the field, and you know, sometimes that can be a curse to an offense if it's just that easy. And it was just that easy. You know, we had some things, I knew some things going in that we could stick them with early, because of the way they lined up and stuff like that. I thought that we could take advantage of some of those things, and then we go down there and score easy, and our kids are fired up and they think, well, this is going to be easy. And when you get that mindset and you think, well, you know, that was easy. All we got to do is go out there. Offensively, we just went out there a few series and didn't play very well. Did some things that hurt ourselves, really. And nothing really that Henry Clay was doing, because they did what we thought they were going to do. And there were some things that we felt like we could hurt them with. But, you know, we came out in the second half and gave up a long kickoff return to the 1. And Dre Goggins caught a kid again at the 1, which he did at Dunbar. Great hustle and busting his tail to get down there. And then, you know, we come back and have a great second half.
We'll be back and talk more with Coach Bert Browne about the second half of the Henry Clay game. Stay with us. We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs; the law firm of Luxon and Patterson; Riptide on the River Restaurant; Hopper's Jewelry; Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond; Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare; Central Bank; Williams Tax and Financial Services; Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond; ERA Professional Hometown Services; Hall & Sons Auto Care; Be a Children's Champion; Reynolds Plumbing; Skipworth Veterinary Clinic; Super Save; Sight Savers Family Eye Care; Mackenzie Morgan Music; Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection; First Gear in Richmond; Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The Bert Browne Show on WWAG FM radio, real country playing stars and legends. Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
And I'm Tommy Floyd, Superintendent with Madison County Schools.
We'd like to introduce you to 2 new high school sports programs. Watch the new Madison Central High School Football Coaches Show with Bert Browne and the Madison Southern High School Football Show with John Clark.
The shows will air on Madison County Schools Channel 9, as well as Time Warner Cable Channel 5.
Get in-depth thoughts and comments from coaches and players throughout the season. So if you enjoy local high school sports and the value and character they build, join us.
Because every student counts.
Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
I'm Bert Browne, head football coach at Madison Central High School.
Join us throughout the high school football season for the Bert Browne Coaches Show right here. Welcome back. We continue now with Bert Browne on the Bert Browne Football Show about Madison Central football. We're here at Riptide on the River. We also want to thank Bert, some of our other fine sponsors that help make this program possible: Luxury Pet Service, Lux and Patterson Attorneys, and State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond. You've taken us kind of through the developments of the Henry Clay game in the first half. Halftime, how you talked to the team and how they came out into the second half.
Well, it's 14-7 at the half, and we should have taken advantage of some things in the first half offensively. You know, giving up 14 points isn't too bad. Now, in the first half, we let them convert a 3rd and 20. That kills you. You know, they're on the 5-yard line. We've played our tails off for two snaps there, and we let them convert 3rd and 20 coming out. Well, you know, if we pin them there, if we let them get 15 yards, they're punting from the 20, and we're going to have decent field position. But we let them convert a first down. We let them come on out there, and you know, when we talked to the kids at halftime about that, wasn't too happy about that. You can't let somebody run isolation on 3rd and 20, and they convert it. You know, they get 21 yards or 22 yards. But you know, like I told the kids at halftime, hey. are they doing anything different than we thought they were going to do? No. We prepared all week for their running back number 23 to play a lot of shotgun quarterback in the Wildcat kind of thing. We saw that all week. We put some faster kids in there at quarterback on the scout team to prepare for that. And we let him get outside on us, and we worked on that all week. We weren't getting our linebackers weren't lining us up in the right defense. As far as their formation goes, we were calling the wrong strength probably 12 times in that football game, and that hurt us. I mean, when you get in the wrong strength and the strength of your defense is shifted the wrong way, that costs you. And that happened to us probably 10 or 11, 12 times, and they hurt us on those things. So those are some things that our kids on the field have got to get us in the right set. But for the most part, defensively, we played pretty good, but we gave up some bigger plays there, and telling them at halftime, hey, we just got to get lined up right. We got to do those right things. We're in this football game. We come out. One of the things I said, they get the football. We've got to hold them. We've got to stop them, get the ball back, and let's take it down and score. And I was talking to the offense in there at the half too, and drawing up things. And hey, are they doing anything differently? We prepared all week. No, sir. We talked to our kids on the sideline too, and we find out where their nose guard is slanting more too, so we tried to run weak more, and that helped us. Our passing game picked up in the second half, and for the most part, our defense didn't play very bad. We let them get we jump an out route, and they run a wheel route above that, and we jump the out instead of staying back in our quarters, and they get a cheap touchdown with the kid wide open. But it's those little things, and that's what I talk to the kids all the time about. It's the little things that we have to do and do them right all the time. And we're right there. It's close, but the effort was excellent. The comeback was great, and the kids just did a great job.
We'll be back with the coach because I want to talk about the comeback. They were down, you were down, and made a dramatic comeback at the end of that game. We'll be back in just a minute. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs. The law firm of Luxon and Patterson. Riptide on the River Restaurant. Hopper's Jewelry. Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance, Richmond. Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare. Central Bank. Williams Tax and Financial Services. Regal Beagle, downtown Richmond. ERA, Professional Hometown Services. Hall & Sons Auto Care. Be a Children's Champion. Reynolds Plumbing. Skipworth Veterinary Clinic. Super Save. Sight Savers Family Eye Care. Mackenzie Morgan Music. Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection. First Gear in Richmond. Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The Bert Browne Show on WWAG FM radio, real country playing stars and legends. We'd like to welcome a new sponsor to the show, the Men's Mission Breakfast Club. Find out more here. David Sullivan and Bert Browne, we continue on the football show this week from Riptide on the River, and we thank more of our sponsors as we go into the show. Hopper's Jewelry, Luxon Patterson Attorneys, and Sipples Chiropractic. Coach, we talked about the fact you've fallen behind. Your team to Henry Clay late in the third quarter. I think about 2 minutes left in the...
2 minutes, 23 seconds. I look up and it's 28-7. Yeah.
Yeah, you dug a deep hole.
Yeah.
You've gotten a big lead on you,
yeah.
But your team came back. Talk us through it and how you.
Well, we you know, I kept telling the kids on the sideline offensively, hey, we're right there. We just got to make some of these things happen. We've got to get this block. We got to catch this ball. We got to throw it. And bam, 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 we take it down the field, score a touchdown. Then the very next play on defense, we get a pick, get us back out there. I guess 2 plays later, we throw a touchdown to Dominique. I think that was, when that came, it's 21-28. And, you know, we hold them again and score another touchdown. And with 58 seconds left in the game, our kids, you could tell that their kids were tired and our kids weren't. You know, I think our conditioning took over at this point. And also how we platoon our kids, you know, that's one of the things that I knew going into the season, and that's why we do that. We play as many kids as we can each side of the ball, and we only have very few that go both ways. And in the second half of ball games, that takes over, and especially later in the season, because like I said a couple shows ago, those guys that are constantly practicing defense for 2 hours a day are getting a lot better than they're gonna get if they're practicing offense and defense and you're cutting that time in half. So this is when, towards the end of the season, the middle of the season, is when that kind of stuff shows, and it'll really show next year. Next year it will really show the effects of this, because we'll have guys that have been practicing one side of the ball for 2 years. And our kids did an excellent job at the end. We got down there with 58.6 seconds, I think, and scored. And, you know, I knew we were going to score. I think our kids knew we were going to score. Everything was going in our direction. You could tell their defensive line was spent. So we call a timeout, you know, going to try to win the game right there. We missed an extra point earlier, and I felt like we had a better chance to get 2 than the 1. And so, you know, we call a timeout. We run a flood route that we've run in the past, and you know, they just played good defense and stopped us. And that's the bottom line. They just played good defense.
Well, that's a tough way to lose, obviously, but you did see the comeback, and your kids showed no quit.
Well,
I mean, they were going to the end.
Yeah. Like I told the kids after the football game in the locker room, I said, you know, I want you to know that I'm extremely proud of the way you came back, but don't let anybody tell you that, well, that was great, you played hard and you did all this, because it's not. We lost. And one thing you can't get accustomed to is losing. And that's something that we're trying to get over the hump at Madison Central. We're trying to get these guys to understand how to win in the late stages of ball games and how to finish football games. And you know, against Dunbar the week before, we almost let them back in the game there at the end when we got up on them, and that's something that, you know, the good teams, the real good teams, don't let you do that. They finish you. And so that's what we're trying to teach these kids. And you know, this is the 4th program I've taken over that's been pretty down. And one of the things I've preached at all these programs is never accept losing. Never think, well, you know, we played the number 4 team in the country, Riverdale High School, when I was at Coffee County in Tennessee in '97, and they were 4 or 6 in the nation. And we played them tougher than anybody did all year. With their full allotment of starters. They went on to win a state championship in the biggest classification in the state in 5A football there, but we hit them in the mouth and played a great game. And I was proud of the kids, but I told them after the game, I said, I'm proud of your effort, I'm proud of what you did, but you know, we're not going to accept losing, and we're not going to take this as man, we played great and all that stuff. We still lost. And you know, I tell the kids all the time, that's what football, I think, teaches about life is when you're down, you got to get up. And you know, I told the kids after the game, I said, it's the same thing I talk to you all the time. You're going to have a family, you're going to have to feed that family, you're going to have to go to work, and you're going to interview for a job, and if you come in second for that job, you came in second, you don't get a paycheck. So we've got to learn to win those football games. But again, I was extremely proud of the effort that our kids, I mean, just to come back like that. And several people told me they haven't seen that in a few years at Madison Central. And so, you know, that's something that we're we're working that way, and we're slowly getting up that hill, and we're going to get over the top.
All right, we'll be back. Stay with us. Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
And I'm Tommy Floyd, Superintendent with Madison County Schools.
We'd like to introduce you to 2 new high school sports programs. Watch the new Madison Central High School Football Coaches Show with Bert Browne and the Madison Southern High School Football Show with John Clark.
The shows will air on Madison County Schools Channel 9 as well as Time Warner Cable Channel 5.
Get in-depth thoughts and comments from coaches and players throughout the season. So if you enjoy local high school sports and the value and character they build, join us.
Because every student counts.
Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
I'm Bert Browne, head football coach at Madison Central High School.
Join us throughout the high school football season for the Bert Browne Coaches Show right here. This segment of the Bert Browne Show is brought to you by the Waffle House. Bert Browne and I will be back to talk more about Madison Central football. Right now, we're going to pause to take a look at this week's Student Athlete Showcase.
Give me your name.
Rachel Grant.
And what grade are you?
I'm a senior at Central.
All right. How long have you been cheering?
Since the 6th grade.
All right. How'd you get started?
I just felt foggy and decided to try out my 6th grade year at Clark-Morris.
All right. What do you like about it?
I really like the relationships that we gain, and I feel like we're one big family here.
All right. Give me some kind of awards that you all have won in the past.
My sophomore year, we had the privilege of winning a national title and 2 state titles, so that was really good.
What kind of team do you all have this year?
I think we're going to be really good, better than last year. I'm really excited for what this year has to come.
3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Give me your name.
Madison Campbell.
And what grade you in?
I am a senior at Central.
How long have you been cheering?
This is my 6th year cheering.
How'd you get started?
One of my friends wanted me to try out with her in 7th grade, so I did.
What do you like about cheering?
I like cheering on our teams and just being a part of the school environment.
And tell me what kind of awards you all won.
My sophomore year, I won a national title and a state title. And then my junior year, we repeated our national title.
Okay, what kind of team do you think you have this year?
I think we're going to be just as good, if not better, than last year and the year before that.
Okay, when does some of the competitions start?
February is our national competition, and normally at the end of February or at the beginning of March is our state competition.
Sarah Akihari.
What grade you in?
I'm in the 9th grade.
And how long have you been cheering?
I've been cheering since my 7th grade year.
All right. How did you get started in cheering?
I started cheering because my friend talked me into it, and then I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, but now that I'm in it, I can't stop, and I love it.
All right. What kind of team do you think you all have in competition this year?
I think we just need a little bit of practice, but we're going to kick butt, so you better watch out.
The middle music was just the dance. So they dance in between their trips.
Give me your name.
My name is Hannah Hazelwood.
What grade you in?
I'm in the 9th grade.
And how long have you been cheering?
I've been cheering since I was in 7th grade.
All right. And how did you get started in cheering?
I've always just had an interest in it, and when I was in 7th grade, I got the opportunity to cheer here and love it.
All right. What kind of team and competition do you think you all have this year?
I think we have a really strong team and we've been working really hard, so better watch out.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3.
We'd like to welcome a new sponsor to the show, the Men's Mission Breakfast Club. Find out more here. We'll continue with Bert Browne and more on Madison Central football. Right now, Bert, we want to take a pause and meet some of your football players.
My name is Tyson Gregory and I'm a defensive end.
Dalton Gross, offensive line.
Matthew Hall, quarterback.
Logan Harrison, right tackle.
Cameron Hatchett, corner.
Jacob Hensley, offensive defensive line.
Cody Jarvis, wide receiver.
Andrew Jakubek, defensive end.
I'm Taylor Johnson, I'm a receiver.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs, the law firm of Luxon and Patterson, Riptide on the River Restaurant, Hopper's Jewelry, Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance Richmond, Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare, Central Bank, Williams Tax and Financial Services, Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond, ERA Professional Hometown Services, Hall & Sons Auto Care, Be a Children's Champion, Reynolds Plumbing, Skipworth Veterinary Clinic, Super Save, Sight Savers Family Eye Care, Mackenzie Morgan Music, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, First Gear in Richmond, Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to The Bert Browne Show on WWAG FM radio, real country playing stars and legends.
We'd like to welcome a new sponsor to the show, the Men's Mission Breakfast Club. Find out more here. Bert, let's, as we wrap up this week's show, talk about what's coming ahead. You got another Lexington High School.
Yeah, we have Lafayette, and they've had a great year. Coach Hayden's done an excellent job over there after taking over last year, and they've got their kids playing extremely hard. And they are probably one of the bigger football teams in the state. They are massive up front, and it's going to be a challenge for us. It's going to be a second district game, and we hope to win our district. And so, you know, we go into that football game. That's going to be our cancer awareness night. We're going to have kids are going to be wearing pink jerseys that night for people that have on the back. Most of them have somebody that they know that's battled with cancer or passed away with cancer or cancer survivor. And so it's going to be a special night Friday night, and I encourage everybody to come out because there's going to be some money donated from those jerseys to the Cancer Fund and some different things. We're going to have some different things. So I think it'll be a great night for everybody in our county, and not only our county, but surrounding counties to come out and, you know, kind of show their support for that kind of thing, because our kids are, and they're excited about it, excited about being able to, you know, kind of do like the NFL does. They wear those pink towels, pink shoes and stuff, and so our kids are excited about that, and I think the community, people in the community are starting to get involved in that. I think the hospital, Patty A. Clay, is going to get involved in that, some of that with us, and we're going to have some different things there. So I encourage everybody to come out. If you haven't come to a Madison Central football game in years, Friday night's the night to do it, because it's going to be a special night, and hopefully we can pack that place and everybody wear pink and for a great cause, and I know there's going to be money donated. I know they're selling T-shirts, pink T-shirts, our booster club is, and they're donating that money to cancer, and then I think for every pink shirt that's bought, either, I'm not for sure if it's the hospital stuff too and our stuff, that our athletic department is going to donate $1 for everybody that comes in wearing one of those shirts. And so it's a special night, I think, and it's a night that, like I say, if people haven't come to a football game in years, you need to come out, because it's a extremely worthwhile thing. And you know, when I was talking to the kids about doing this, and talking to Tim Gross, our booster club president, about doing it, you know, Tim's father passed away from cancer, and you know, he got a little choked up about it. You know, that touches a lot of people. And I asked our kids, how many of you have been affected in your family with cancer? And every one of them raises their hand. So everybody's touched by this disease, and so it's a special night, and it's for special people, and we're going to recognize cancer survivors and at halftime, and want them to come down on the field or things like that. So there's going to be some special things.
Super. Good luck with that game. Good luck with the night. That sounds great. And we'll see you back here, and we'll be talking about that Lafayette game. All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. David Sullivan along with Bert Browne. So long.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: Luxury Pets, the home of the happy dogs; the law firm of Luxon and Patterson; Riptide on the River Restaurant; Hopper's Jewelry; Jerry Goebel State Farm Insurance, Richmond; Dr. Dan Sipples Chiropractic Healthcare; Central Bank; Williams Tax and Financial Services; Regal Beagle Downtown Richmond; ERA Professional Hometown Services; Hall & Sons Auto Care; Be a Children's Champion; Reynolds Plumbing; Skipworth Veterinary Clinic; Super Save; Sight Savers Family Eye Care; Mackenzie Morgan Music; Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection; First Gear in Richmond; Guardian Bank, home of the $250 deal. Listen to the Bert Browne Show on WWAG FM radio, real country playing stars and legends.
Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
And I'm Tommy Floyd, Superintendent with Madison County Schools.
We'd like to introduce you to 2 new high school sports programs. Watch the new Madison Central High School Football Coaches Show with Bert Browne and the Madison Southern High School Football Show with John Clark.
The shows will air on Madison County Schools Channel 9, as well as Time Warner Cable Channel 5.
Get in-depth thoughts and comments from coaches and players throughout the season. So if you enjoy local high school sports and the value and character they build, join us.
Because every student counts.
Hello, I'm David Sullivan.
I'm Bert Browne, head football coach at Madison Central High School.
Join us throughout the high school football season for the Bert Browne Coaches Show right here.
You can watch the Bert Browne Show on MadisonCentralFootball.com.
The Bert Browne Show is the property of Rosanbalm Communications, and distribution and recordings by any means is prohibited. To order quality copies of the program, please visit rosenbaumcommunications.com for information.